Hello everypony. My name is Moonlight Quill and welcome to my studio. So let's talk about this whole Toon thing going on and about. So what can be said that hasn't been said enough times already about him? Well, I'm doing this mainly because this has greatly scarred our fandom in a way that we probably have never seen before. And seeing how many have done it already, I thought I'd share my support too, since of course this fandom saved me from myself years back, and I want to do the same for it. So let me share a good story, my experiences with Toon, and my thoughts on the whole thing, and what's on my mind. Now, I'm not going to cuss or get angry in any kind of way, because we've heard enough of that, and it's not quite a good topic. So, here we go. So, with Toon, back in 2015, it was my first year ever going to BronyCon. And it was quite the experience, let me tell you. Thanks to a great friend of mine, whose name I won't mention just for her sake and many others, she was able to arrange me to be able to go and meet up with them and got permission for me to hang out with not only Toon, but Will and Jasper, Eliora, and many more for all 3 days. I was quite lucky, I must say. I was very shocked and surprised at that I was privileged to this. So, my jealous friends were all rooting for me back home, saying how lucky I am, and they're so happy for me that I get to do this, and tell them I said hi, all that good stuff. Great times. I went, nervous but excited. I finally met them, and just as I hoped, they were such a fun bunch. And the whole thing with Toon, I was able to get on a great personal level and express myself with my feelings, why I'm a brony and how I became one, and some other things, because the guy was very nice and sweet to me. He gave me the privilege of letting me open myself a lot and really express who I am and why some things about myself I don't like. And without getting into detail, he pretty much put his arm around my shoulder and said, "Hey, don't worry about it, buddy. You're a pretty cool guy, and I'm glad to have met you. You're..." and stuff like that, very nice words. It meant a lot to me. Now, I believe it was on the second night, on day 2 of BronyCon 2015, I was invited over to his room with Ellie, Jasper, Pencil Swift, and quite a few others. I don't remember who was there completely, but I was there, and we all got to play Smash Brothers, Bean Boozled, and had the most fun I never could have imagined I'd ever have. I can only imagine how many others in that time would love to be where I was at. And I really wish they could. I felt that everyone in this fandom who really loved these guys should have this experience at least once or twice. After all the fun and excitement when the BronyCon ended, it was very heart-crushing. On the last day, during the day, before we were packing up, I was pretty much bawling out because I wasn't ready to go home. It was heartbreaking, and actually, I take that back. It was the night before the day we all had to go to our flights. So anyways, basically, Toon himself said, just, everyone, we need to hug Moon. And Will, just everyone that was in there, they all surrounded me and gave me a big, huge group hug. It was something, alright. It meant a lot to me, and it felt very, very special to me. I can't think of the right way to say it, but words can't describe how much that moment really, really meant to me. How Will and Toon, all of them, they really showed what kind of amazing, loving people they are. And, I wanted that friendship to last forever. It's a friendship I never wanted to fade or disappear, and I would promise to take great care of it. And I gotta say, I was squished pretty hard. Pretty funny stuff there, and I remember how Toon always said how adorable I looked snuggling his plushy OC, and when we were on the bus, well, it wasn't a bus, it was actually a train, we were all riding together back to the airport. Ellie was snuggling me, cuddling me, saying it's alright, Moon, we'll keep in touch and all that stuff, and on our ride back. We got to the airport, separated, and until it was just me and Toon alone. And we walked together because our gates were relatively near each other. So we talked for a while, just about, stuff, plans, future, whatever. And when it was time for me to go because of my time and he was getting closer to where he needed to get his flight ticket, he gave me his cell phone number and said, "Hey, buddy, don't worry. I'll keep in touch with you and I'll introduce you to a group I'm in. You could probably meet some more people too I think you might like." And I said, "Thank you, Toon." And after we left, hugged one last time, went to the gate, and I got a text message from him saying, "It was great meeting you, buddy. I hope to see you again sometime. Safe travels." And that was it. Went home and I got myself into that group as he promised me and became friends with him on Skype and and all that. And for the longest time, it was just, well, it was just everything. Just they were funny. They were so much fun to talk to. We played some games, and joke around and talk about stuff and helping one another. You know what friends do? Real friends. It was amazing, I tell you. And it's actually, fun fact, this is where I first met Lightning Bliss at. I didn't meet her because of her content. I never even knew who she was until I got in that group, and it was great. She was a sweetheart to me. She was so goofy and funny, full of energy, very fun person to talk to and joke with, all that stuff. But, with all this magic going on, it was just felt like it would never end. I believed deep in my heart that these guys were just always blessing and full of life, and they promised to always be, very cool people, friends with me, whatever. Now, fast forwarding to 2016, the year when things really were most terrible for me. I have to say this year and 2017 were very, very, very hard years. So in 16, it wasn't even half a year yet, or maybe it was almost half a year since me and Toon and the rest of them became friends and whatnot. Well, Toon removed me from his group and told me that he was going to put me in a new group. Now, this didn't happen. He just removed me. He never told me why or what I did wrong. And I asked him, and he didn't respond. I asked others, they didn't respond. So I got really worried. What did I do wrong? Did I offend them? Did I say something that I shouldn't have said? Or I'm just confused. And he basically said to a friend of mine to tell me, because I don't know why he couldn't tell me himself, but he said I'm a depressing vibe. Well, I can agree with that because back in the day, I was very sensitive. I mean, after these years of experience with the loss of friends and including these guys, it gave me a lot of time to really overlook everything and change myself and better myself, and it's worked so far to this day. But the thing that I've always wondered is why didn't he just tell me himself, so I can fix myself, so I can figure out what I did wrong and learn from it. And I have. And when time went on, he just slowly stopped talking to me, and I don't know why. I often said, "Hey, Zach, what's up? Want to play a game? I finally got a computer. Why don't we play some TF2 or something? Whatever." Nothing. And that was the last time I was ever able to send messages to him till, well, he just stopped. That's when I saw a question mark over his icon. He removed me as a friend. So, what the heck, I wonder? What was all this about? It's startled me, it frightened me, it really put a hole in my heart because I was scared and afraid. Like, what did I do wrong? Why did he unfriend me? What happened? No one would answer me. All the others wouldn't answer me. Now, I'm not blaming any of them for any of this. I'm not. I'm not trying to imply this. I'm just trying to just say that I'm just confused and worried. I'm just trying to wonder what happened. All those times we had together that year, how long it lasted afterwards, and how much they said I was a cool guy, how sweet I was, the friendship they shared with me. Where did it all go, and why did it leave? I'm just left in the dark. I still love them all, and I still look up to them. Always will. And I understand we all have our own lives and we get busy, and they are very busy people. I just want to know what happened. Even to this day, I wonder, but I won't bother to ask because there's enough problems as there is, and, I don't want to be first to start such things. But with the whole situation going on at hand right now with Toon, this, so, throughout time, last year at BronyCon, I got to finally meet my big brother, my BBBFF, Finn the pony. It was the most amazing thing in my life, and I saw Toon again. I was extremely scared, to be honest, to approach him, or any of the others. And I noticed, without saying any names, some of them gave me awkward stares. And some looked happy, but it didn't look all that real. It's like, come on, you remember me. I know it's been at least over a year, but surely at least you remember my name. Some of them do. But I'm just worried. What is going on? But what happened that really, really blew my mind and made me change my thoughts on this whole confusing thing going on? On the last day, which is pretty crazy when this happened. Actually, no, I take that back. It was on the first day. I was with Finn and Takara. We were just walking together and meeting up with all the other analysts, all bundled up in a group at the hotel, and we were going to all watch DuckTales, and I was just walking by with Finn, and we approached Toon, and I looked at him with a frightened face. I was practically shivering and stuff, and you know what he said to me? There's a face I hadn't seen in a while, with a big smile on his face. You know what he did? He came up and just hugged me. I got so stunned, I didn't know what to say. I hugged him back, and I didn't know what to say. It was very unexpected, and it was out of nowhere. It's like, what? You missed me? Is the words I really wanted to say, but because of how shocked I was that he wasn't gonna walk past me or give me a stare or just pretend I'm not even there. But the guy just came and hugged me, like he really missed me, and it's like, in my mind, I'm like, well, in my mind, I really wanted to say to him, if you miss me so much, or why didn't you add me back? Or tell me why you removed me? And why did you just gave me a hug and I didn't even ask for it? And this is very confusing, but I was happy with it. Don't get me wrong, I was really happy. It really made me change my thoughts, and maybe something did happen that I don't even need to know in his life, and maybe actually being there face to face in person maybe made things better between us. And it raised me hopes that maybe someday we could be friends again. It's just maybe he's in a crisis right now, and when it settles in, things could get better between us. So I kept my hopes up and enjoyed the rest of BronyCon 2017, said our byes, went home, and things just kind of went flat and settled. Nothing really big or bad. But when this uproar news came up, it hit me so much. It was unbelievable. Now, the reason why I explained all of this story I just already said, because I really wanted to share what kind of a friendship I had with him, and why it meant so much to me, and why I had so much hope that it would come back one day. And now getting to the topic that's really happening right now. So, yeah, like I said, I was really shocked, and I almost dropped my phone when I read that message from a friend who told me about it, because it was already spreading really quick, and I was lost at words, and just, no, really? Toon? Him? Why would he do that? Because there's really no reason for me to say it, because at this point, everybody knows what happened. But for those who do not know, and I apologize, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, because I ran into this stating what's on my mind. So, he was having very sexual role-playing with an underage girl who was 14 years old. Very, very illegal. To the extreme. Beyond imagination. And it's just unrealistic to me that Toon himself would be doing something like that and hiding it for over a year. a year. As I recall, last year was 2017, and he left me around 2016. Now, according to the information from what I'm hearing from other videos and other sites, that maybe this is why he left me. Maybe he was just afraid that if I found out, I'd go spread it. Or maybe he left me because he was afraid that I would have gotten dragged into the chaos that he saw coming in advance. Or maybe something else. But I'll never know for sure. And I will never know. And, well, at this point, I don't care. You know, I don't. Am I... So, where do I go from here? So, even explaining this is a lot for me because Toon was very important to not only me, but many, many others, those who've been with him for far longer than me. And even just that little experience he gifted me to have, it meant a lot to me. It was very important. It really set my mind in a direction that I didn't think I'd go. It gave me so much more confidence in myself. It gave me friends that I never thought I'd meet, that I didn't even know existed. And then this, I don't understand. And it hurts a lot. Because not only is this a huge lie and a big slap in the face to everyone who's close to him, but it's a gigantic scar on the whole fandom. For a big name like him to really be revealed to be something as dark as that makes us bronies all over the world look bad. And that's why I myself am doing this video, because I care about us so much, because I want to share my support in all of this, that I do not approve of this. Not even a little bit. I hate it. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. It's pathetic. It's really stupid. Now, I'm not trying to get too angry here, but it really is a big deal to all of us because it isn't good. It's a very bad influence to everyone. It's toxic. It sickens me to my stomach that someone I really looked up to and really was inspired from and was a friend of would be something like this. It's unimaginably bad. And I really pray that for everyone's safety and for their sakes, that because of this whole thing going on, that this doesn't greatly affect others' future. Like Will getting married, Blissey wanting to be an animator, and many, many others out there who just started doing big things like what I'm doing. And, you know, with all this going on, I quickly removed everything that had his face on it. Even the video of my top 10 brony YouTubers is gone because I was praising the guy. I was loving him, but, you know, after this, I can't have that. I'm still new to everything, and I'm very fresh, and if I have something like that in my history, after all this, I can't do that. I can't take that risk. Even on my DeviantArt, I unfaved everything with him in it. Even the art I've ever made of him. It was very hard. Very hard. I really, really cared about him, and I can't believe that he would be hiding something so, just so terrible. It's just unbelievable. If I knew last year was going to be my last time ever seeing him or even talking to him, I really wish I could have told him how much 2015 really meant to me, with how much of a blessing he gave me that year. You know? And his friendship really meant a lot to me. Also, I wanted to ask him, why did he really unfriend me? What was your real reason? I want a very honest answer. Because how am I going to learn from my mistakes if I don't know what I did wrong? But I don't care anymore. Like I said, I don't care. He's gone, and I don't think he's ever coming back. But if he does, I only just pray that he's learned very well what he's done, and he will start over, and we can start over, and we'll see if he can make a difference in himself as a person, as a friend, and just everything else. I am sick into my stomach, and I'm so upset and disappointed with what he did. Even he knew what he was doing was wrong, but he kept doing it, and it's just not right. And I hate it. It's ridiculous. I really don't want to hate the guy, because despite everybody throwing all the death threats and everything to him, I still feel that very deep down inside, he's a very nice person. He's just wrong in the head, quite literally. You know, because this is the Brony fandom. There's a very good reason that it's called Friendship is Magic. Friendship can do more than just be what it is. It can be the most powerful, unimaginable force of nature any of us can imagine. Not only that, it's always been about love and tolerance. I know what he did is incredibly illegal and incredibly wrong, and I myself don't approve of it and am disgusted and disappointed in it to the extreme. But I'm not a hateful person. I don't go hating on certain people, and I hate doing it because it's just that's not who I am. I'm not a person who goes ranting. I know I'm just blabbering on at this point, but these are thoughts and many different things that have been on my mind since I first heard of this, and it's been really, really hurting me, and I'm no different than it's hurting others around this whole fandom. I'm very glad this was already reported before this news was even leaked. So at this point, well, I'm pretty sure we all know where he's at right now. Maybe not, but who knows and who cares? All that matters to me now is that the safety of this fandom is intact, along with everyone else's safety, both young and older. Especially for the young ones, because of how innocent their minds are, you know, and it's very wrong to do that to anyone who's little, because they're going to look at life in the wrong way because of how they're fresh their mind is. Well, everybody, so where do we go from here? And I know this question has been going on for a while, but it is a big thing. So where am I going to go from this? Well, since me and him were never friends anymore, apparently, or maybe we're acquaintances. I don't even know what the relationship between me and him is anymore at this point. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing, trying to get my crazy big dream out. Been having meetings about it, may I mention. But without getting off topic here, one final thought that if Toon never, ever comes back and we'll never see him again on the face of the internet in any possible way, I just want to at least go out and just say, you were an incredible inspiration, Toon. Every time I saw you on those stages, at those cons, with your friends, living that gigantic golden life that many bronies dream of having, all the friends you had, a loving family, maybe I don't know that much about your family, but the fans, it's just all this hard work you put into everything you dreamt of doing, or accidentally got into but went with it and it became a dream. The fact that you put all this work, this years of work into all of this that you've ever done since you joined, and just to watch it all disappear like that, that's destructible. And I can't help but feel sorry in that way, because can you just imagine what that must be like? All those years, your friends, everything just gone like that, and you're behind bars in the end. Can you imagine how heavy that would be on someone? And he does deserve it. Don't get me wrong. He does. What he did is incredibly unforgiving. And it can't go unpunished or unnoticed. So everybody knows, what the truth is. People need to see the truth. We can't be living a lie. Just like many friends and ex-friends have told me, you gotta see the light. You have to see the truth for what it is. But in the end, I'll never forget everything he's done, everything he accomplished, and how it inspired me, and how it inspired others, and how it brought others together. I mean, look at Will. He's going to get married. Like he said, it's practically because of Toon he found his wife and his future. And it's, you know, that's a lot. But will he come back? Probably not. Probably never. Because I'm sure if he shows his face around this fandom again, he's gonna get bombarded hard. But who knows? Maybe something will come out of this, or maybe it won't. Well, that's about all I can say before I go on with this too much longer, because I'm sure more and more videos about this matter is going to come up and go all over the place, and it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse. But I'm prepared to see that, but I'm not worried about it because I'm not involved with the guy anymore for at least longer than 2 years at this point. So thank you so much, everybody, for watching, and I really, really hope you can all show your support in helping our fandom grow and heal from this, and show that we're not this. If this one incident implied to millions that this is what the fandom is, and obviously it's not. So everybody, again, thank you so much for this, for giving me the time to express what's on my mind about this whole thing and my little story of when I used to be his friend and all this stuff. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe and keep this fandom going in these dark times. I'm Moonlight Quill, and thank you for joining me today.